More details, though, were revealed about how the facility at Tramode will operate. This at the meeting last night. And, of course, the Isle of Man Meat Company was recently formed. It's taken control of the site in Tramode from the Vatstock Marketing Association with support from the government. And the company chairman, the MHK, Tim Baker, joins me in the studio. Good morning to you.
Morning, James.
First and foremost, how is this going to work?
So the new company's been set up. It's an independent company. It's separate from DEFRA and it's separate from the FMA, the Vatstock Marketing Association. But both those organisations are shareholders in the new company, and basically it's got a commercial board, and the job of the board is to drive the business forward and make the meat plant fit for purpose.
Busy meeting last night.
Very good, actually. Yes, well turned out. I would say 120 people there. Very positive tone, actually, which, to be fair, hasn't always been the case with these meetings. And we really stepped through the detail and got a pretty positive reaction.
Well, let's talk about some of the detail. You've been tasked with this role, whether you like it or not, I suppose. That there was always going to be a risk in an initiative like this. You could say there's a risk with whatever's decided with regards to the meat plant. But this is a massive gamble, isn't it? The whole operation, is it not, is waiting for a strategic partner.
The strategic partner is very, very important to our future, because at the moment the meat plant is unable to access lots of markets. We've got no routes into the UK, multiple retailers. We've got very little in terms of overseas trade. So we do really want a strategic partner to work with, and we believe that's possible. But we've got to shape up the actual operation of the business itself and put it on proper principles.
If government does find it too costly, can you give an undertaking it will effectively return to the farmers' cooperative, or indeed even exist?
Well, what we've got to prove is the long-term viability of the business, and we made it very clear last night. And the Minister for DEFRA, Minister Boot, has made it clear. This is pretty much last chance saloon for the meat plant, and this has been going on for many years. And it tracks back really to before the loss of the red meat derogation. So we've got to show that actually supporting the meat plant is a good use of public money. And that's the task that's in front of myself as chair and the new board.
Well, government has injected money, obviously, to get it going. Where is this £1 million or so coming from? It wouldn't have just been sat there in the budget, presumably.
It was money that was within DEFRA's control, and so DEFRA's effectively used that and didn't have to go to Treasury to get new money. That effectively gives us the funding we need for the next year. Beyond that point, we're going to need to go back to Treasury with a very clear business plan, and as part of that, we need to demonstrate that the meat plant is moving in the right direction, there is a viable future for it, and that it is a good use of public money to continue to support it.
How confident or otherwise are you?
I'm pretty confident, to be honest, and I made that statement to the meeting last night. We've got an excellent board of. We've got the DEFRA and FMA reps to provide the link into those two organisations.
I mean, there's been excellent boards and good people on committees before, though, hasn't there?
The meat plant has been run by the FMA, and farmers are great at farming. They're not necessarily great at running meat plants, and it's very difficult to separate what's in their interest as a farmer from what the business of the meat plant and ultimately its customers, the retailers, the butchers, etc. need. So, we've now got people who've got real business experience. We've got industry expertise in there. We've got Andy McDonald, who's well known to the local agricultural sector, and Andy Lees, who's got a tremendous track record in retail. So we've got a different board. We're quite right. There's been good people involved in the past, but we've got the right mix of expertise to take it forward.
I realise we could talk about this all day long, what and ifs, and achieve absolutely nothing. Do you, and I appreciate this is before your time, but if consultants' advice had been followed, perhaps do you think a lot of this turmoil could have been avoided, couldn't it, in the not too distant past?
Well, it was very interesting actually. The concluding comment from the floor last night was that this should have happened in 2010, and it was talked about and just wasn't done. And 2010 was when the derogation ended. So I think it's very easy to look back and sort of say we should have done this, we could have done this. The reality is the past is gone, and we've got to play what's in front of us.
In terms of salary and pension benefits, what will this new board cost potentially?
The new board is costing very little. I mean, I'm doing the role purely within my existing remuneration as an MHK. We've got the two members who are government employees are doing it for no incremental cost as well, and there's a very modest fee for the three other people on the board, but it's extremely modest, and certainly relative to the value that those individuals will bring, it's great value.
The official transfers happened, of course, the big reveal, and I know you personally wanted it done sooner. That I suppose you could say the machinery of government effectively slowing down the operating machinery, but farmers can't wait, can they? Do you think some confidence potentially has been lost because, well, they needed to sell cattle and sheep at the start of the year, and some of them naturally will have since gone off island?
Absolutely. I mean, you track this right back. I mean, this review process involving the various stakeholders was ongoing at the end of the previous administration, and it took until February of last year for the confirmation that we're going to go down a tender process looking for a private sector partner, and that's effectively taken 12 months to get to here, and we know that it was spiralling downwards during that time. But you have to do these things properly. It'd have been very easy to go through a tender process, grab something that looked like a possible solution, and ended up in 3 or 5 years' time in an absolute mess.
A new buying policy pricing structure, will it provide equivalence with the UK, do you think?
That's a very emotive word within the agricultural sector, James. Is it equivalence?
What, equivalence?
Yeah. It's based on UK pricing with some deductions of the cost of getting the carcass to the UK. So we think it's in the mid to high 90% after that deduction. So, but the important thing is that the farmers can see there's a very clear and transparent pricing methodology. It's absolutely anchored in UK pricing, and more importantly, the grid, which looks at what each particular combination of fat class and conformance is worth, actually completely mirrors a mainstream UK operator. So essentially we are playing by the same rules as the UK farmers will be doing, but the slight less return is because obviously we've got the transport costs from here to the UK.
Transport costs was a point I was going to raise. We are out of time. I just want to ask you, there's an argument, is there not? If you take a government grant, subsidy, call it what you want, and send stock for export rather than local slaughter, you should lose future grants for a period of time, isn't there?
Well,
playing hardball.
Some people say that, and I think the reality right now is that there's more stock on this island than the meat plant could process. And there is some stock that we currently don't have markets for. So right now we need a mixed economy of the meat plant and of shipping, and that's likely to continue in the short term. But people have been shipping because they've had no good alternative through the meat plant, and we're here to fix that.
Company Chairman Aaron Michael, MHK Tim Baker, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, James.